Hello friends, have a good time. We are at your service with Shabnameh. For many years, 2 to 3 countries, due to their extremely good economic progress, they humiliated Iran because of them. One is Japan, one is Germany. Then, for example, don't hit Iran on the head, so that they say, follow their example. Go, see what they did to improve their economy. At the moment when, for example, they wanted to humiliate Iran, he issued a ruling at the same moment, saying, because they became friends with America, their economy has improved. And because you are playing this model, talking about resistance and talking about this, your economy has gone bad. That is, if you go and check, those who say, set Germany as in pattern, set Japan as in pattern, none of them say, go check, see, what did he do? All of them are one kind of friend of America. It has become this way and you should become this way. Now I have a question. If Germany wants to become Iran, and Japan wants to become Iran, it is strange to think about. It's so weird, isn't it? At all, sir, we went on a path, which everyone threw pieces at us, they humiliate us. If they humiliated in the field of economy, it was right. We have no dispute about that. But in other areas it is going in the wrong direction. You, by the way, should say congratulations to me here. Because they themselves understood, I am saying with certainty. We want to go and read a report. Friends, as you are in the process, in the continuation of the process of Ukraine's battle with Russia, Germany has sent tanks to this country. He said, sir, France, for example, sent such and such a thing. England is sending depleted uranium weapons. He sent weapons to such and such a place. What are you sending? Germany said I will send a series of tanks. Why did they do this? They wanted it as a symbol of their power, as a symbol of their determination, as a symbol that they are not afraid of the Russians. They stand on this issue. And they want to punch Russia in the mouth. And play an effective role alongside the West. He came to act like this. Surveys and polls conducted in Germany show that many people in Germany. Second, they became thoughtless. Third, they do not understand the facts. Let me ask you a question. What is being said in the media about the war in Ukraine now? They say, Russia has suffered a heavy defeat. Iran, you also failed in the middle, because you are also next to this. Next, we have worked together. These are said. After that, if, for example, it failed, why are you angry that our drone is there? Well, this has failed. Well, this is the truth. The media truth is not based on the field reality. Behold. If, for example, Ukraine is in a good situation, and it is going in the West's favor, why should the Germans be angry that their tanks are there? Well done, send 2 more. Don't you say that Russia has failed? Continue to fail. This Iran, which has sent a drone, should not do anything else. Understand that it is useless. No. The truth of the field is very different from the truth of the media. They lie to the people with the media. And people understood this. What is the document for this case? A year has passed since the war in Ukraine, and they themselves emphasize in the media that Russia is broken on the rails. And 1 year after this case, these words are said in the media. Polls show that Germans are extremely scared of a possible war in their own country. Do you know where the point is? Look, if the process of Ukraine was positive from the point of view of the Germans, he asked them that there might be a war ahead, are you worried? He looked at the other side and said, well, there is Ukraine and I saw its experience. NATO is also on this side of the story. There is also America, they give me a budget of about $200 billion, for military weapons. They send weapons and everything, they send forces, the result. There is nothing to worry about. He can't say such a thing. He can never say such a thing. Because the media, the things it says have been completely rejected by the Western society. And the Western citizens especially consider the policies of their own governments regarding Ukraine to be wrong. We want to go and read a poll together. This survey that I want to present to you was conducted by an insurance company in Germany called RNV. Second, they became thoughtless. Third, they do not understand the facts. Let me ask you a question. What is being said in the media about the war in Ukraine now? This survey says that, 63% of German people are worried that this country will not be able to defend itself in case of war. 63% of the people said, if there is a war, our country cannot defend itself. We are worried about this. Sir, we should have gone the way that Germany went? Should we have gone the way Japan went? Japan, I read for you yesterday. He says, having reached this conclusion, we must go towards nuclear weapons. The previous Prime Minister of Japan who was killed and no one talks about him. It never became clear why this happened. In his last interview, he said, either we have to build an atomic bomb, or America guarantees to give it to us. Look, there is a place where you, Qatar, are saying this. Well, he said something and left. It can't make it. There is a place where you are a Japanese country, for example. You went and did something on plutonium. You did something on uranium. And according to America, you can make 6,000 atomic bombs right now. This was said about Japan in 2018. Now, if you are Japan that has this capability, then the Prime Minister will come and say sometime before his death, either I will build it or you must hand it over to me. We have to silence you somehow. You should not continue. I have nothing to do with these things. My main point is this. Dear sir, was the route to Germany correct? Is the path of Japan correct? Or was Iran's path correct? We cannot give a general answer to any of these. Yes or no, we cannot say for sure. Because it must be checked part by part. Except in one case I can say that the path was right without considering the details. The path of this one was wrong. The path of that one was also wrong. In what state in case I see, how do they look at their future in the field of national security? Is Japan worried? 100%. Japan says, if America does not think about me, my situation will become critical. Is Germany worried or not? 63% of its people, instead of saying, we have given tanks to Ukraine and saying how powerful we are, let's go to that tank and challenge Russia. 63% say, we believe that if a war happens, our Second, they became thoughtless. Third, they do not understand the facts. Let me ask you a question. What is being said in the media about the war in Ukraine now? In Iran, when you look at the crisis, you say, what kind of crisis is going to involve me? Sir, they targeted your general. This shows that they are no longer afraid of direct confrontation with you. Otherwise, they would not have beaten your general. When we look inside Iran, I say, this is nonsense. Because if you weren't really afraid of direct confrontation with me, you wouldn't have done this operation in the dark night. You used to do this in the face-to-face war. This aside, how did Iranian society understand? Iranian society, more than 10 million people came to the farewell ceremony for the martyr, which some statistics said, 50 million people in different parts of Iran came from a community of 80 million people in different cities to bid farewell to the commander. This society did not have this kind of concern at all. You looked at his system. In Kenya once, America targeted its military bases, and also in Afghanistan. Then he went and hit the Ain al-Assad military base. And he said, by the way, I am fully prepared for counter-operations. Let's see what the story is like. I have prepared myself for a full-scale battle. By the way, I have things that are much different from these drones and toys. When we enter the battle, the main thing is to be able to surprise each other. If I don't have anything that will surprise the other party, I have to pack up and go. No. What you are seeing now, I will bring it to Ukraine, I will test it, with this I will prove to you that, if you have the ability, I will challenge you. But rest assured that I have prepared things to surprise you in a face-to-face battle. For now, it is better not to talk about it. Sir, a question. Is Iran on the right path or Germany and Japan? In the economic sphere, well, we should definitely go and see what they did. We should definitely talk about it for hours. A recent debate was held on TV, between two economics professors, two Iranian professors. It's very interesting. I checked the polls and these, of course, not a poll. Let me say it like this. I got a feed. Second, they became thoughtless. Third, they do not understand the facts. Let me ask you a question. What is being said in the media about the war in Ukraine now? I saw that most of them, when they are discussing about these two economics professors and their debate, they say, this incident showed that we should look for a third solution. These things that we are talking to each other about in Iran now cannot be a solution in the economic field. For what? In order for us to be able to put an economy on the table that, like, our military power, and like, the axis of our resistance, and it is worth being proud of. Because we still have a long way to go. In the field of automobile manufacturing, we are very far away. We are far away. However, who played right? Look, I realized that America can't be trusted. Germany understands that it cannot do anything. France understandably can't do anything. Macron recently said, "Now if we can solve this too, how many years do we have?" It is not clear whether we will be able to achieve independence in these few years. Let's check the continuation together. According to this survey, 55% of Germans are worried about their country's involvement in the battlefield due to the war in Ukraine. This was while in 2022, only 42% of German citizens suffered from this concern. Well, you have dealt with Russia, which you have sanctioned, you have restricted all websites and yourself in the media, those in Russia. You banned him from sports competitions and so on. Best weapons sent to Ukraine. When you look at this side, Iran was very bad. He only sent a few drones, and we will argue with him later so that you don't do this. So, all positive things that. In your own media too, he says, everything is positive. He says, "Sir, we defeated them." I always think when, for example, the ones sitting in the West, when they say that they lost the battle and NATO won. Then, for example, when we calculate, we see that 17 to 20% of the land of this country is in the hands of Russia. How does he consider Russia a loser? Now maybe, he considers this a loser. If I am a loser, is this the art of the media? Or really, we should say well done to their media. Look, how beautifully he shows his role on the dot. Second, they became thoughtless. Third, they do not understand the facts. Let me ask you a question. What is being said in the media about the war in Ukraine now? Of course, in Germany and the like, when you go to the bottom of the society, you come to the conclusion that these things they say are lies. It is a lie that may destroy these countries. Based on this survey, it can be clearly seen that Russia's war against Ukraine has shaken the sense of security of Germans. This issue is definitely different from the calculations of the first German politicians. No one can guarantee that no war will ever involve his country. Can anyone confirm this? At all, the future of the world is not predictable. Someone who with certainty, for example, "Oh, how stupid they must be. The countries that left have invested too much in other fields other than the military. They said, America will solve it for us." If America could solve this, they wouldn't have hit their bases in Iraq and Syria with missiles. If he could solve it, he would solve it in Yemen. Look, the best battle of the war was in Yemen so that they could come and test their weapons. To see what resistance can do, to neutralize it. Even these idiots did not think of this. Or if they thought of it, they couldn't. Now, I can't say with certainty that it didn't come to his mind, because when they bring an American operator, and put him behind the Patriot, and Yemen hits the Patriot with a missile, it hits from the point that was not in the Patriot's sight, so it shows that he has done something in this field. But, in short, this is my point. This deterrence capability cannot produce for a country. A country that hopes that others will solve its problems for it will always be weak. Do you know the origin of these stories? They always thought that war would be in the Middle East until the end. Afghans should be killed. Iraqis should be killed. Iranians, Yemenis, Palestinians, Lebanese and other nationalities of this region should be killed. Our blood is not worth for these. It is not important at all. In the world, has anyone ever seen a meeting, arresting 2 people in the world because of the nations that have been killed here? Like a joke at all. They were sure that the war will stay in our region until the end. Now that they have come to their senses, their minds are shaking, and they say to themselves, what did we do in the field of weapons? If the war starts, how much can we advance the war? Second, they became thoughtless. Third, they do not understand the facts. Let me ask you a question. What is being said in the media about the war in Ukraine now? Of course, in Germany and the like, when you go to the bottom of the society, you come to the conclusion that these things they say are lies. It is a lie that may destroy these countries. Based on this survey, it can be clearly seen that Russia's war against Ukraine has shaken the sense of security of Germans. This issue is definitely different from the calculations of the first German politicians. No one can guarantee that no war will ever involve his country. Can anyone confirm this? At all, the future of the world is not predictable. Someone who with certainty, for example, oh, how stupid they must be, the countries that left have invested too much in other fields other than the military. They said, America will solve it for us. If America could solve this, they wouldn't have hit their bases in Iraq and Syria with missiles. If he could solve it, he would solve it in Yemen. Look, the best battle of the war was in Yemen so that they could come and test their weapons. Because some people say, sir, you made Iran look like the last days of the Soviet Union. We only bought weapons. First, dear sir, I reverse engineered the weapons I bought and I am selling them. I am becoming a weapon maker in the world. Sudan is in chaos. They went to film a factory. They saw that the military vehicles are all Iranian. Contract closed. I came here, spent money, spent time to make the best weapons there and make money. And I made good money. I am a weapons maker. Many people do not have the courage to speak because of the embargo. I'm playing the game right. No. They also narrate the same thing as a threat to a part of the society. One more thing, sir, you should assume that I don't get money from these weapons. I am assuming. This drone did not generate income for me. These things we made did not generate income. In this region of West Asia, from the Taliban to terrorist groups in Pakistan, to the Emirates that has eyes on our 2 islands, to the west of my country and the northwest of the country, everyone has their eyes on Iran. I cannot be strong, I cannot make weapons. All these aside. Now, if someone is sympathetic to Iran, if someone loves the homeland, among media activists, now he should say, how many years do you have weapons for the government? How much can you manage a war?